seen my share of Tamriel. Nothing compares to the wilds of Skyrim. As she is dangerous.
sip of water, and maybe I can steal a victory kiss or two.
Leave, stranger. Evil stirs in this place. I fear for the security of the very land if it should break free.
What evil do you mean?
We stand at the tomb of Hevnoraak, who has been dead for many generations. I fear, however, that his return may be at hand.
There must be a way to stop this.
I have been holding him here. While he regains strength, however, I am fading. By now, I can barely contain his power, much less defeat him if he awakens. But with the help of a living champion, I may be able to succeed.
Then I will help you. What must be done?
You would do this? 3 vessels in the tomb below hold the power to vanquish Hevnoraak. Before anything else, we need those. Bring them to me. But be careful, mortal. They are guarded by Hevnoraak's minions. They will stop at nothing to see their master return.
So much history in these stones.
Whatever it is, we can handle it.
Shit! Oblivion, take you!
Danger lies ahead. Keep your eyes open.
I'm in sick of him. die this day. We bloody did it! If you're not a little afraid, you're not understanding the situation. What exactly is in these bottles? It looks like wine, but something tells me it's definitely not. Likely it's the chill crawling up my spine.
You found the vessels. I was worried that I had sent you to your death.
What am I going to do with these?
In life, Hevnoraak drained his own blood from his body. His goal was to transfer his power back into himself after death, becoming a powerful lich. The vessels contain that very blood. Empty them, and you remove any chance he has of regaining his former powers.
I'm ready.
Very well. Empty the vessels into the sconce near the throne. Then sit in the throne. When you have done so, I will unbind Hevnoraak. He will awaken in a weakened state, but the lich is still to be reckoned with. Be ready.
The sooner we see the sky again, the better.
Thank you, hero. Now, I may finally rest. Take Hevnoraak's iron mask. It may be of use to you, and serve as some reward for your feat here.
Don't go giving me fleas.
Before we enter, I must warn you about the dangers that could be lurking within. Years ago, this temple was raided by an orc war party seeking revenge. They were being plagued by nightmares, just like the people of Dawnstar. Years ago, this temple was raided by an orc war party seeking revenge. They were being plagued by nightmares, just like the people of Dawnstar.
Were they successful?
No. Knowing they could never defeat the orcs, the priests of Vermina released what they called the miasma, putting everyone to sleep.
Why is it dangerous if they're asleep?
I'm concerned that when this place is unsealed, the miasma will dissipate and they'll awaken, both orcs and priests alike.
Who is the Daedric Lord Vermina?
Vermina resides in a strange realm known as Quagmire, a nightmarish land where reality shifts upon itself in seemingly impossible ways. From her citadel at the center, she reaches forth to collect our memories, leaving nothing in return apart from visions of horror and despair.
What does she do with the memories?
Who can say? Perhaps she collects them for display like works of art in a nonsensical art gallery. Whatever the case may be, her intentions are far from benevolent.
What does the miasma do?
The miasma was created by the priests of Vermina for their rituals. It's a gas that places the affected in a deep sleep. Because the rituals would last for months or even years, the miasma was designed to slow down the aging process.
Is the gas dangerous?
Sadly, yes. The longer an individual is exposed to the miasma, the more the mind can become damaged. Those who've been under the effect of it for extended periods of time have been known to lose their minds entirely. In some cases, a few never awoke at all. Once we get inside, all will become clear. Yes, my daughter. What is it I can help with? This way, my daughter.
Can you smell magic in the air too?
Give me just a moment, and I'll have this open. show you the source of the nightmares. Over here. Behold the skull of corruption, the source of Dawnstar's woes. We must reach the inner sanctum and destroy it. Come, there's no time to lose.
Hevnoraak's mask makes you immune to disease and poison. What now?
Lady Mara!
Over here! Motherfucker!
Does he bite?
Around to find out.
Damn it! The priest must have activated this barrier when the miasma was released.
Looks difficult to breach.
Impossible, actually. I wonder. There may be a way to bypass the barrier, but I must check their library and confirm it can be done.
You seem to know an awful lot about this place.
I suppose there's no point in concealing the truth any longer. My knowledge of this temple comes from personal experience. I was a priest of Vermina.
Why keep it a secret?
When the orcs invaded the temple, I fled. I left my brothers and sisters here to die. I've spent the last few decades living in regret and seeking redemption from Mara. And by her benevolence, I will right my wrongs.
All right, I'm ready.
I still have my key to the library. Whenever you're ready, let's move on.
How can the skull be affecting Dawnstar?
Lore holds that the skull of corruption holds a constant hunger for the memories of others. The skull has been out of touch for so long, I fear it's gained the ability to reach out on its own and try to feed. What it does with these memories is just conjecture, and an argument for scholars and historians to this very day. We mustn't tarry. The skull needs to be destroyed as soon as possible. It's just up here. Be careful. We're certain to find more of the awakened within.
What is it now? I knew it!
This library used to be filled with arcane volumes. Now look at it. Almost everything's been burned. I hope the tome we need is still intact.
Huh? You want to do this the hard way? Trust my dragon, but and all I am, and yet my heart fucking stops when something comes at us. Every fucking time.
The Dream Stride, by the mysterious alchemists of Vermina, a description of the nature and effect of Vermina's torpor. For over 1,000 years, the priests of Vermina have been masters of the art of alchemy. The complexity and potency of their mixtures are nothing short of legendary. These alchemical treasures are so highly sought after that a single draft showing up on the black market can command sums in the tens of thousands of septims. Of the numerous potions that have surfaced to date, Vermina's torpor is perhaps the most impressive. A single sip of this viscous liquid places the imbiber in a state known as the Dream Stride. This condition allows the subject to experience the dreams of another as if they were actually there. The subject becomes an integral part of the dream, behaving as if they belong. To any other entities in this dream state, the subject will be mistaken for the dreamer. The subject will even find his mannerisms, speech patterns, and knowledge expanded appropriately. To an observer, after the subject has imbibed the potion, they will appear to vanish. As the subject traverses distances within the dream, they will also be traversing distances in the actual world. When the torpor's effect has expired, the subject will fade back into reality in the exact location projected within the dream stride. Some dream strides have transported their subjects a few feet, and some have appeared thousands of miles from their origin in a matter of minutes. It's to be noted that the dream stride is highly dangerous and presents the subject with numerous pitfalls. In certain dreams, subjects have been exposed to life-threatening scenarios such as sickness, violence, and even death. In most cases, the subject simply fades back to our world without harm. But in some instances, the subject never reappeared and was assumed to have expired, or the subject reappeared deceased. It's also quite possible that the subject could reappear in a precarious or hazardous location in reality, even though that location appeared safe within the dream stride. Vermina's torpor is as mysterious and elusive as the priests that created it. It's unknown whether this unique transport mechanism is a result of the torpor itself, or simply the odd machinations of Vermina. But the potential for using the dream stride to penetrate seemingly impassable obstacles certainly outweighs its mysterious nature.
Barring any more interruptions, perhaps we can locate the information I need.
What am I looking for?
We're looking for a book of alchemical recipes called the Dream Stride. The tome bears the likeness of Vermina on the cover. It should be here somewhere.
Found it.
Let me take a look. Mara be praised. There is a way past the barrier to the inner sanctum. It involves a recipe for a liquid known as Vermina's torpor.
Is that some type of potion?
Yes. The torpor grants an ability the priests of Vermina called the Dream Stride, using dreams to travel distances in the real world.
That's amazing.
Quite amazing, yes. Alchemy and the blessings of a divine, distilled down into a ingestible liquid. Sadly, I have yet to see it function in person.
I'm going to be your test subject then.
As a sworn priest of Mara, the elixir won't work for me. The torpor will only work for priests of Vermina, or the unaffiliated.
Do you know where we can find the torpor?
All believe there is a laboratory in the East Wing. If we proceed there, we should be able to locate a sample.
What will the Dream Stride feel like?
You'll be viewing the memory of another through your own eyes and with your own body. Those around you will perceive you as normal, and you will find the words you utter may not be your own. Thanks to all of these odd principles, there is quite a lot of debate as to whether this is really a dream or just the machinations of Vermina.
How will I know when to awaken?
I will watch over you as you slumber to ensure your safety. If I deduce anything is amiss, I will use my arts to bring you back. Otherwise, I am uncertain what will end your dream stride. Perhaps when Vermina's curious appetite has been filled. The laboratory adjoins the library. I'm hoping we'll find a sample of the torpor left undamaged.
Did I just...
What was that?
I hope you're not expecting a thank you.
What was that? Huh? Ah! I know I heard something. Oh!
Now that they've been dealt with, we need to find the torpor.
Actually, I've already found it.
Well done. I wasn't certain you'd even know what to look for. I'm relieved you discovered a bottle intact. This place looks as though it was ransacked by the orcs. So, I've taken us this far, but you need to guide us the rest of the way. Drink.
Here, now?
Dawnstar's fate rests in that tiny bottle. The longer we wait, the more damage Vermina could be doing to those poor people. I understand your hesitation, but I promise you that it works. Let's continue. We still have much... do.
The orcs have breached the inner sanctum, Brother Varyn.
We must hold. We can't allow the skull to fall into their hands.
But no more than a handful of us remain, brother.
Then we have no choice. The miasma must be released.
The miasma? But brother...
We have no alternative. It's the will of Vermina.
And what about you, Brother Casimir? Are you prepared to serve the will of Vermina?
I've made my peace. I'm ready.
Then it's decided. Brother Casimir, you must activate the barrier and release the miasma. Let nothing stop you.
Brother Thorin, we must remain here to guard this skull with our lives if necessary.
Agreed to the death.
Then let it be done.
And what might you do?
You puny Give up! You can't win!
Someone that... Ha! Found you!
It worked. Mara be praised. You vanished after drinking the torpor and materialized on the other side. I've never seen anything quite like it.
It was remarkable, as if I were really there.
How I envy you. I can only imagine the excitement of seeing history through the eyes of another. Sadly, I am resigned to just reading of its wonders through my research of the skull.
We can discuss it later. We need to proceed.
Indeed. My reverence for Vermina's machinations should not take precedence over our mission. My apologies. The inner sanctum lies ahead. We must reach the skull and put an end to Dawnstar's troubles. Lead on, my friend. Come, we must get to the skull and destroy it.
How did they find us?
We fight to the last.
Great bloody job! There, Thoric, you're alive. No thanks to you, Casimir. I no longer use that name. I'm Miranda, priest of Mara. You're a traitor. You left us to die and then ran before the miasma took you.
No, I was scared. I wasn't ready to sleep. Enough of your lies.
I can't allow you to destroy the skull, priest of Mara.
Then you leave me no choice.
Is
Never
someone
should
there?
have come.
You will not walk away alive when my blade is unsheathed.
Vermina, forgive me.
It's time. I knew Varen and Thoric. They were my friends. Is this punishment for my past? Is it Mara's will to torment me so? First, an incantation to remove the barrier.
I call upon you, Lady Mara. The skull hungers. It yearns for memories and leaves nightmares in its wake. Grant me the power to break through this barrier and to send the skull to the depths of oblivion.
He's deceiving you. When the ritual's complete, the skull will be free, and then Arender will turn on you. Quickly, kill him now. Kill him and claim the skull for your own. Vermina commands you.
Forgive me if I don't appear relieved. This temple has taken its toll on me.
Are you going to be all right?
In time, I believe I will. I'd constructed a meager shrine to Mara in the antechamber where we entered. My intention was to spend the rest of my years here, burying the past and praying for forgiveness. But instead, I wish to offer my services to you. If you ever wish to journey with me, I'll be here.
Thank you.
There's no need to thank me. What you did was for the people of Dawnstar. If anyone should be thanked, it should be you.
Something on your mind?
Right, let's get going. The evil in this place must be rooted out.
I grew up hearing songs about I'll be the bear. You there! You're the one they call Dragonborn?
The Greybeards seem to think so.
Then it is too late. The lie has already taken root in the hearts of men. So we shall expose to them the falseness in their hearts by tearing out yours, deceiver. When Lord Mirak appears, all shall bear witness. None shall stand to oppose him.
Find them. I knew it! Okay, come on then!
Dumb.
Board the vessel Northern Maiden docked at Ravenrock. Take it to Windhelm, then begin your search. Kill the false Dragonborn before she reaches Solstheim. Return with word of your success, and Mirak shall be most pleased.
The nightmares in Dawnstar have lifted, and I hear you helped that happen. You have my thanks.
I'm looking for work.
Giants are a common problem in the Pale. The Empire always demanded I leave them be, but the Empire isn't here now. Go and slay one of the beasts. Should let them know the Dawnstar is not to be trifled with.
It will be done.
I'm counting on you.
Is Dawnstar prepared for dragon attacks?
The only reason dragons are attacking is because Talos is angry with us for turning our backs on him. As soon as we drive the Empire out of Skyrim, the dragons will vanish. Mark my words.
How is Dawnstar faring in the war?
The Stormcloaks are destined to win this fight. Talos is with us, and when you fight under a Divine's blessing, victory is assured. Dawnstar has a history of being the site of battles that have crippled the fate of the Empire. I hope this remains true. Good luck with the giant. Don't get stepped on.
Nothing compares to the wilds of Skyrim.
Lights on! Die!
The way you look after a fight, all wild and so fucking alive. Gods, I need to kiss you. Like the fall. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
I'm ending this right now!
Problem solved. See them up. Watch out for the ones with the carvings on their tusks. That's how the giants mark their herds.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
I helped my husband Rustlave run the forge. He's a marvel with steel.
Not really. Need a dagger? No? How about a claymore?
Good dog.
I'd like to make an investment in your business.
Excellent. I think you'll be glad that you made this decision.
Let's see what you can do with this.
Thank you. I'll be sure to put it to good use.
You in charge of this forge?
Good dog.
My wife Sarah and I run it together. She's still Smith's even though we found out she is with child. Our son or daughter isn't going to get much Redguard culture here in Skyrim. I know my wife worries how she will pass along her traditions. Hey, if you find a book called Night Falls on Sentinel, could you bring it to me? It's a story from my wife's people. Be good to have.
If I see it, I'll bring it to you.
Good on you.
Do you do any work for the ships?
I worked on a few moorings here and there for it. Most of the ship captains are superstitious about who works on their vessels, though. And Dawnstar is known for its bad luck. We're the last port of call before Windhelm, and the ore we trade makes rich targets for pirates. Come back if you need steel.
The mortar and pestle makes potions, if you can't tell from the name. Just step up to the counter. Keep a close eye on your companion here. We don't need his kind of trouble again.
Trouble? What are you talking about?
Not surprising he didn't tell you. The last time he was here, he drank an entire keg of ale, then decided he was hungry. Seeing as how he'd eaten everything poor Thoring had, he decided to go hunting.
I don't understand how hunting is trouble.
Yeah, it is trouble when you decide to stampede an entire herd of Horker through the center of town to the inn so that Thoring can make you a Horker sandwich in the middle of the night. Took off the next day and left us to clean up the mess. Took us weeks to repair everything they destroyed, not to mention shovel the steaming mess of Horker he left everywhere.
I'll keep him close, I promise.
See that you do, or this time it won't be Horker innards we clean up. The mortar and pestle has cures for every illness, from ataxia to whitbane.
How'd you pick up the herb trade?
My husband. We used to go out into the wilds and collect ingredients together. He used to call me his pretty juniper. It's quite romantic, if you're an alchemist. Frost took the old fool a few seasons back while he was looking for the ring of pure mixtures. I found the ring's resting place after he died, but I'm far too old to go exploring some cave now.
I could find that ring for you.
Well, aren't you sweet? I'd be happy to give you some alchemy training in exchange for the ring if you bring it to me.
I'd like to make an investment in your business.
How kind! At my age, I've certainly learned how to spend wisely.
Let's see what you can do with this.
More coin means more supplies, and that means more useful bombs, potions, and remedies for everyone.
Have you been in Dawnstar long?
I'm the oldest woman in Dawnstar. Was here when Skald the Elder was Skald the Younger. He's a fool if you haven't met him already. Thinks Ulfric Stormcloak is invincible and spits dragon fire. The people here look to Brina Merilis when they need things settled. Real firebrand going up. Wasn't surprised when she joined the Legion. If you find that ring, bring it here.
The baby is born. We should move to Hammerfell.
Hammerfell?
Just worried about raising a child in the middle of this war of ours.
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything. Think I got a clean mug around here somewhere. I'm sorry. My mind was just somewhere else. Do you need a room? Drink? Oh, do you need a room? Until next time. Before you ask.
Good
no,
dog.
I don't have any Horker sandwiches, and no, I won't have any Horker sandwiches no matter how drunk or loud you get asking for them.
Good dog.
I know that look. You're either going to ask me something or ask me to do something.
So, I'm stampeding hawkers, huh? Frostbit arse?
You're not going to let me live this one down, are you?
Highly doubtful.
What can I say? I'm a drunken degenerate. I repent of my wicked ways. God, no, that's a lie.
So tell me, how many hawker can a naked swordsman stampede
Oh, well,
anyway?
fuck. I'm going straight to oblivion for this.
Come, come, I haven't got all day.
Speak.
Good dog.
Let's do something about it then!
Fantastic.
Hell yeah!
Right.
Never learn.
All these dead bodies make for poor company.
Watch you don't slip and fall on your arse. Shit everywhere.
I hope your parents are proud of you. They have a lot of reason to be.
I have your ring.
Good dog.
Thank you. Here, let an old alchemist pass on some of her secrets to you. Let me know if you come down with the rattles.
I'm Skald's housecarl, and head of his guard in Dawnstar. My Jarl, I have concerns about the safety of Dawnstar.
Safety? Don't I have you to handle the town's safety? What is this about, Yod?
You keep pledging more and more of our guard to the front lines. The way this is going, we won't be able to defend our own borders.
Nonsense. The best place for our men is driving the Imperials back. I will ensure that men from Dawnstar get every opportunity for glory.
Glory is meaningless if they have no home to return to. I urge you to lower our commitments to the front until I'm sure we're safe.
I won't have you rob our soldiers of their chance to drive out the Empire. I'm done discussing this, Yod. You're not as dumb as you look.
Good dog.
You've shown those monsters that they will no longer be tolerated in the Pale. Good work! Here, a reward from your Jarl.
Anything else you need, my Jarl?
There is room in my court for a new Thane. It's an honorary title mainly, but there are a few perks someone like you could make use of. However, I could only grant the title to someone who is known throughout my hold. You help my people, and I'll make you my Thane.
It would be an honor.
Good luck.
Is that land you mentioned still available?
Yes, it is. It's in the southern part of the Pale, right on the border with Whiterun Hold. All the room in the world to build your own house.
I'll take it.
Wonderful. I'll sleep better knowing you're watching the Southern Marches. Here's the title to your steading. Just follow the road south from Dawnstar, past Fort Dunstad. Then head south. The land is near Giant's Gap, right on the border with Whiterun Hold. You'll almost be inside of the Lorius farm, in fact. Don't bother me again unless it's important. I've been in charge of Dawnstar for over 35 years. All right, then.
I'm glad to be wandering the wilds with you.
36 Lessons of Vivek, Sermon 11. These were the days of Resdania, when Keimer and Dwemer lived under the wise and benevolent rule of the Umsivi and their champion the Hortator. When the gods of Veloth would retreat unto their own to mold the cosmos and other matters, the Hortator would at times become confused. Vivek would always be there to advise him, and this is the first of the 3 lessons of ruling kings. The waking world is the amnesia of dream. All motifs can be mortally wounded. Once slain, themes turn into the structure of future nostalgia. Do not abuse your powers, or they will lead you astray. They will leave you like rebellious daughters. They will lose their virtue. They will become lost and resentful, and finally become pregnant with the seeds of folly. Soon you will be the grandparent of a broken state. You will be mocked. It will fall apart like a stone that recalls that it is really water. Keep nothing in your house that is neither needed nor beautiful. Ordeals you should face unimpeded by the world of restriction. The splendor of stars is I Am's domain. The selfishness of the sea is Set's. I rule the middle air. All else is earth, and under your temporal command. There is no bone that cannot be broken, except for the heart bone. You will see it twice in your lifetimes. Take what you can the first time, and let us do the rest. There is no true symbolism of the center. The Sharmat will believe there is. He will feel that he can cause years of exuberance from sitting in the sacred, when really no one can leave that state and cause anything more but strife. There is once more the case of the symbolic and barren. The true prince that is cursed and demonized will be adored at last with full hearts. According to the Codex of Mephala, there can be no official art, only fixation points of complexity that will erase from the awe of the people, given enough time. This is a secret that hides another, and impersonal survival is not the way of the ruling king. Embrace the art of the people and marry it, and by that I mean secretly have it murdered. The ruling king that sees in another his equivalent rules nothing. The secret of weapons is this: they are the mercy seat. The secret of language is this: it is immobile. The ruling king is armored head to toe in brilliant flame. He is redeemed by each act he undertakes. His death is only a diagram back to the waking world. He sleeps the second way. The Sharmat is his double, and therefore you wonder if you rule nothing. Hortator and Sharmat 1 and 1, 11, an inelegant number. Which of the ones is the more important? Could you ever tell if they switched places? I can, and that is why you will need me. According to the Codex of Mephala, there is no difference between the theorist and the terrorist. Even the most cherished desire disappears in their hands. That is why Mephala has black hands. Bring both of yours to every argument. The one-handed king finds no remedy. When you approach God, however, cut both of them off. God has no need of theory, and he is armored head to toe in terror. The ending of the words is Umsivi.
The Mirror by Berdier Rites, about a skilled fighter's showdown with his greatest enemy. The wind blew over the open plain, jostling the few trees within to move back and forth with the irritation of it. A young man in bright green turban approached the army and gave his chieftain's terms for peace to the commander. He was refused. It was to be battle, the Battle of Ain Kolur. So the chief Iembes had decreed his open defiance, and his horsemen were at war once again. Many times the tribe had moved into territory that was not theirs to occupy, and many times the diplomatic approach had failed. It had come to this, at long last. It was just as well with Mindothrax. His allies may win or lose, but he would always survive. Though he had occasionally been on the losing side of war, never once in all his 34 years had he lost in hand-to-hand combat. The two armies poured like dual frothing streams through the dust, and when they met, a clamor rang out, echoing into the hills. Blood, the first liquor the clay had tasted in many months, danced like powder. The high and low battle cries of the rival tribes met in harmony as the armies dug into one another's flesh. Mindothrax was in the element he loved. After 10 hours of fighting, with no ground given, both commanders called a mutual and honorable withdrawal from the field. The camp was positioned in a high-walled garden of an old burial ground, adorned by springtide blossoms. As Mindothrax toured the grounds, he was reminded of his childhood home. It was a happy and a sad recollection, the purity of childhood ambition, all of his schooling in the many ways of battle, but tinged with memories of his poor mother. a beautiful woman looking down at her son with both pride and unspoken sorrow. She never talked about what troubled her, but it came as no surprise to any when she took the walk across the moors and was found days later, her throat slit open by her own hand. The army itself was like a colony of ants, newly shaken. Within a half-hour's time after the end of the battle, they had reorganized as if by instinct. As the medics looked to the wounded, someone remarked, with a measure of admiration and astonishment, "Look at Mindothrax. His hair isn't even out of place." "He is a mighty swordsman," said the attending physician. "The sword is a greatly overvalued article," said Mindothrax, nevertheless pleased with the attention. "Warriors pay too much attention to striking, and not enough in defending strikes. The proper way to go into battle is to defend yourself, and to hit your opponent only when the ideal moment arises." "I prefer a more straightforward approach," smiled one of the wounded. "It is the way of the horsemen." "If it is the way of the Buellside tribes to fail, then I renounce my heritage," said Mindothrax, making a quick sign to the spirits that he was being expressive, not blasphemous. "Remember what the great blade master Gaiden Shinji said. The best techniques are passed on by the survivors. I have been in 36 battles, and I haven't a scar to show for them. That is because I rely on my shield, and then my blade, in that order. What is your secret? Think of melee as a mirror. I look to my opponent's left arm when I am striking with my right. If he is prepared to block my blow, I blow not. Why exert undue force?" Mindothrax cocked an eyebrow. "But when I see his right arm tense, my left arm goes to my shield. You see, it takes twice as much power to send force than it does to deflect it. When your eye can recognize whether your opponent is striking from above, or at angle, or in an uppercut from below, you learn to pivot and place your shield just so to protect yourself. I could block for hours if need be, but it takes only a few minutes, or even seconds, for your opponent, used to battering, to leave a space open for your own strike." "What was the longest you've ever had to defend yourself?" asked the wounded man. "I fought a man once for an hour's time," said Mindothrax. "He was tireless with his bludgeoning, never giving me a moment to do aught but block his strikes. But finally, he took a moment too long in raising his cudgel, and I found my mark in his chest. He struck my shield 1,000 times, and I struck his heart but once. But that was enough." "So he was your greatest opponent?" asked the medico. "Oh, indeed not," said Mindothrax, turning his great shield so the silvery metal reflected his own face. "There is he." The next day, the battle recommenced. Chief Iambez had brought in reinforcements from the islands to the south. To the horror and disgrace of the tribe, mercenaries, renegade horsemen, and even some Reachman witches were included in the war. As Mindothrax stared across the field at the armies assembling, putting on his helmet and readying his shield and blade, he thought again of his poor mother. What had tortured her so? Why had she never been able to look at her son without grief? Between sunrise and sundown, the battle raged. A bright blue sky overhead burned down on the combatants as they rushed against one another over and over again. In every melee, Mindothrax prevailed. A foe with an axe rained a series of strokes against his shield, but every one was deflected until at last Mindothrax could best the warrior. A spear maiden nearly pierced the shield with her first strike, but Mindothrax knew how to give with the blow, throwing her off balance and leaving her open for his counterstrike. Finally, he met a mercenary on the field, armed with shield and sword and a helm of golden bronze. For an hour and a half they battled. Mindothrax tried every trick he knew. When the mercenary tensed his left arm, he held back his strike. When his opponent rose his sword, his shield rose too and expertly blocked. For the first time in his life, he was battling another defensive fighter, stationary, reflective, with energy to battle for days if need be. Occasionally, another warrior would enter into the fray, sometimes from Mindothrax's army, sometimes from his opponent's. These distractions were swiftly dispatched, and the champions returned to their fight. As they fought, circling one another, matching block for blow and blow for block, it dawned on Mindothrax that here at last he was fighting the perfect mirror. It became more a game, almost a dance, than a battle of blood. It was not until Mindothrax missed his own step, striking too soon, throwing himself off balance, that the promenade was ended. He saw, rather than felt, the mercenary's blade rip across him from throat to chest. A good strike, the sort he himself might have delivered. Mindothrax fell to the ground, feeling his life passing. The mercenary stood over him, prepared to give his worthy adversary the killing blow. It was a strange, honorable deed for an outsider to do, and Mindothrax was greatly moved. Across the battlefield, he heard someone call a name, similar to his own. "Eurifax!" The mercenary removed his helmet to answer the call. As he did so, Mindothrak saw through the slits of his helm his own reflection in the man. It was his own close-set eyes, red and brown hair, thin and wide mouth, and blunt chin. For a moment he marveled at the mirror, before the stranger turned back to him and delivered the death stroke. Euryphax returned to his commander and was well paid for his part in the day's victory. They retired for a hot meal under the stars in a garden by an old cairn that had previously been occupied by their foes. The mercenary was strangely quiet as he observed the land. "Have you been here before, Euryphax?" asked one of the tribesmen who had hired him. "I was born a horseman, just like you. My mother sold me when I was just a babe. I have always wondered how my life might have been different had I not been bartered away. I might never have been a mercenary." "There are many things that decide our fate," said the witch. "It is madness to try to see how you might have taken this turn or that in the world. They are not exactly like yourself, so it is foolish to compare. But there is one," said Euryphax, looking to the stars. "My master, before he set me free, said that my mother had twin sons when I was born. She could only afford to raise but one child, but somewhere out there is a man just like me, my brother. I hope to meet him." The witch saw the spirits before her and knew the truth that the twins had met already. She remained silent and stared into the fire, banishing the thoughts from her head, too wise to tell all.
Azir Traji Jazeri. This is an absurd book, but like all things Khajiiti, as the expression goes, Gzalzi Vabrzarita Masi, or absurdity has become necessity. Much of what I have to say has probably never been written before, and if it has, no one has read it. The Imperials feel that everything must be written down for posterity. But every Khajiiti kitten born in elsewhere knows his history. He drinks it in with his mother's milk. Fairly recently, however, our struggles to win back our homeland from the rapacious Count of Leowin have attracted sympathetic persons, even Imperials, who wish to join our cause, but it seems do not understand our ways. Our enemies, of course, do not understand us either, but that is as we wish it. A weapon in our arsenal. Our non-Khajiiti friends, however, should know who we are, why we are, and what we are doing. The Khajiit mind is not engineered for self-reflection. We simply do what we do, and let the world be damned. To put into words and rationalize our philosophy is foreign, and I cannot guarantee that even after reading this you will understand us. Grasp this simple truth. Xeno vano, Xena ualiz. When I contradict myself, I am telling the truth. We are the Relrishna Kryn, the mercenaries Kryn, the laugh of the landless, and the smiling scum would all be fair translation. It is a derogatory expression, but it is amusing, so we have adopted it. We have anger in our hearts, but not on our faces. We fight for elsewhere, but we do not ally ourselves with the Main, who symbolizes our land. We believe in justice, but do not follow laws. Xeno vano, Xena ualis. These are not rules, for there is no word for rules in Tagra. Call them our Jizrini, foolish concepts. 1. Baba do shurdo. It is good to be brave. We are struggling against impossible odds, against the very empire of Tamriel. Our cause is the noblest cause of all, defense of home. If we fail, we betray our past and our future. Our dead are Risalidad, which may be interpreted as martyrs in the truest, best sense of that word, which is so often misused. We honor their sacrifice, and beneath our smiles mourn them deeply. Our bravery most obviously shows in the smile that is the Kryn part of our name. This does not mean we walk about grinning like the idiotic baboonish Imga of Valenwood. We simply are entertained by adversary. We find an equal fair fight tiresome in the extreme. We confidently smile because we know our victory in the end is assured, and we know our smiles drive our enemies insane. 2. Vaba masti l'agito. It is necessary to run away. We are struggling against impossible odds, against the very empire of Tamriel. Honor is madness. Yes, we loved Viren Rijrakrin, who died in brave battle against the forces of the Empire, but I guarantee you that each of those Grisalidad had an escape route he or she failed to use, and died saying damn. When the great Sencheirat comes to the Saemisil steppes, he will find himself unable to hunt, unable to sleep, as the tiny Alfic leap onto his back, biting him and running off before he has a chance to turn his great body to face them. Eventually, though he may stubbornly hope to catch the Alfic, the Sencheirat always leaves. They are our cousins, the Alfic, and we have adopted their strategy against the great tiger of Leowin. Do not ally yourself with the Renrij if you yearn to be part of a mighty army marching resolutely forth, for whom retreat is anathema. We will laugh at your suicidal idiocy as we slip into the reeds of the river and watch the inevitable slaughter. 3. Fuzose Varvar. Enjoy life. Life is short. If you have not made love recently, please put down this book and take care of that with all haste. Find a wanton lass or a frisky lad, or several, in whatever combination your wise loins direct, and do not under any circumstances play hard to get. Our struggle against the colossal forces of oppression can wait. Good? Welcome back. We Renrij live and fight together, and know that Leowin and the Empire will not give way very soon, likely not in our lifetimes. In the time we have, we do not want our closest comrades to be dour, dull, colorless, sober, and virginal. If we did, we would have joined the Emperor's blades. Do not begrudge us our lewd jokes, our body-drunken nights, our moon sugar. They are the pleasures that Leowin denies us, and so we take our good humor very seriously. 4. Fuzose Vardar. Kill without qualm. Life is short, very short, as many have learned when they have crossed the Renrij. We fight dirty. If an enemy is facing us, we might consider our options, and even slip away if his sword looks too big. If his back is to us, however, I personally favor knocking him down and then jumping on his neck where the bones snap with a gratifying crunch. Of course, it is up to you and your personal style. 5. Azir Duraris. We give freely to the people. Let us not forget our purpose. We are fighting for our families, the Khajiit driven from the rich fertile shores of Lake Makapi and the river Malapi, where they and their ancestors lived since time immemorial. It is our battle, but their tragedy. We must show them, lest they are swayed by other rhetoric, that we are fighting for them. The Main, the Emperor, and the Count can give speeches, pass laws, and, living life in the open, explain their positions and philosophies to their people to stave off the inevitable revolution. Extra-legal entities, such as the Renrij must make our actions count for our words. This means more than fighting the good fight and having a laugh at our befuddled adversaries. It means engaging and seducing the people. Ours is not a military war, it is a political war. If the people rise up against our oppressors, they will retreat, and we will win. Give to these people, whenever possible, gold, moon sugar, and our strong arms, and though they hide, their hearts will be with us. 6. Azir Trajazeri. We justly take by force. Let us not forget our purpose. We are thieves and thugs, smugglers and saboteurs. If we cannot take a farm, we burn it to the ground. If the Imperials, garrisoned in a glorious ancient stronghold, beloved by our ancestors, will not yield, we tear the structure apart. If the only way to rescue the land from the Leowin misappropriation is to make it uninhabitable by all, so be it. We want our life and our home back as it was 20 years ago. But if that is not realistic, then we will accept a different, simple, pragmatic goal. Revenge. With a smile.
Dragonborn.
How do you feel about me?
It's something I'm still trying to find the words for. A man should be a master of himself, but when I'm with you, that control starts slipping out of reach.
You really mean that?
You're doubting me, Dragonborn. You shouldn't. You've carved your way into my heart, and I don't see how you'll ever be moved from there.
I love you, Kaidan.
You do? Truly? I'd wondered if I'd ever hear you say those words.
What else have you been wondering?
I want to know that you're mine. There's no one else in the world for me. And the thought of someone or something trying to steal you from me.
I'm yours, you're mine. We're in this together.
You are blood of my blood, and bone of my bone. Hey, I love you. You know that, right?
How do you feel about me?
I was lost in the abyss for so long that I thought it would swallow me whole. But now that I have your love, I am redeemed.
Kaidan, I want to ask you something.
Many times, sweetheart.
Why do you still speak poorly of mages, even though I am one?
Do I? I hadn't realised.
You do. It happens often, actually.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. I had a certain feelings about magic in general before I met you. That's changed. I'm proud of what you're doing. Will you forgive me?
I don't know.
Let me show you how truly repentant I am. So, what are we doing tonight? Yes, love?
Kai, I was wondering about the flowers you always give me.
Yes, love? What is it you're wondering?
Is it because I'm the Dragonborn that you give me dragon's tongue?
It does seem to be appropriate, doesn't it? But no, love. Remember, I gave them to you before we knew who you were. Truth is, well, probably sounds foolish.
Please tell me, I would like to know.
Brynjar once told me they were my mother's favourite flower. So when I saw one and looked at you, I just wanted you to have it. It was like giving them to you made you different somehow. Like I was showing you a part of me nobody knew. Wanting you to have it even before I really understood why.
Even before you knew I was Dragonborn, you thought of me like that?
I knew you were special from the start. There was a moment though where I realised I wished that my mother had been able to meet you. I guess you could say my giving you her favourite flowers was the closest I could come to sharing her with you.
I love you, Kaidan.
I love you, my dragon. Always. Aye, changeling?
How do you feel about starting a family?
A family? That's not something I've ever really thought about. There's never been a time before where I had to consider it. Is this something you want? To have children?
Yes, it is.
Well, that... Love, you know I don't want to deny you something that's so important to you. But let me think about this.
What worries you about having children?
Come on. Being a parent's no small thing. And I don't really know anything about it. When I think about everything I've done before I met you, well, I wouldn't call myself much of a role model.
You're not your past, and we'd be in it together. That's what being a family is.
Aye. Something I'm still getting used to. And you'd be good at parenting. Maybe this is something I could do.
I have a book you might like.
I've been meaning to read this. Thank you. Here, I've got something for you too.
I've found a copy of The Trials of Saint Alessia if you want it.
Looks like a good read. Here, fair trade?
Let me check your gear.
Alright, here you go.
Let's rest here.
I'll get myself comfortable then. Dragonborn.
Let's talk.
Aye.
I'm so glad we're together, Kaidan. I still can't believe how lucky I am to have you in my life.
Honestly, I never thought I'd lose myself so deep inside you. You've bewitched me. I would love to kiss you. Do you know that? Hello there.
Tell me about yourself.
I'd rather hear about you.
Who were you before you discovered you had the dragon blood?
I was always an adventurer.
Aye, you've got that fighter's spirit. There's no way a conventional life could contain you for long.
That's all, really.
Glad to know a bit more about you.
Come on, we've got things to do.
Damn shame, that is. Everything alright?
What are you wearing?
This? It helps my restoration magic.
You don't know any restoration magic.
Oh aye, I can think of a few times that I soothed every ache and pain that you had. Well, moving on.
We bloody did it! We should look for game while we're out here.
We have been set upon at every turn, but thus far we have been able to thwart the Thalmor efforts of obtaining the relics of the Divine Crusader. As far as I know, my brothers have all fallen at their hand, but something tells me that they achieved our goal and the relics are safe, at least. Should the Thalmor happen upon any of the chests, there is no power short of the Divines which can open them. Aside from the ring I bear, that is. I will keep it safely locked away here and hold the banner as long as possible. But I fear that the elements will overcome me before help arrives, and even before the Thalmor can find me. My only hope is that whoever discovers this ring will safeguard it, for it is the key to the legacy of Pelinal Whitestrake and the Order of the Nun. Divines protect me.
Has confused the fuck out of me. I mean, how can something that fucking ugly taste so fucking good?
Are you finished ogling the grotesque? I suppose I should be grateful you didn't simply attack me.
Your skin. Are you ill?
I am one of the afflicted. I'd have been dead from this plague a year ago if not for Periite's protection.
Where are you going?
Returning to Hevnoraak. Our shepherd lost his way, and I fear Periite's wrath may consume those who remain with him. Kesh could tell you more. I just want out of Skyrim as quickly as possible.
Never should have come here. By the gods, I know this looks bad. Let me explain.
You killed that woman.
I didn't want to, but she attacked to try and keep me from leaving. I can't be a part of this place anymore. The things we do here, evil, evil things. No more!
Why did she need to die?
We were supposed to find a sacrifice. Human sacrifice. I told her I couldn't do it, and she attacked. I've done horrible things living here, but never taken an innocent life. I couldn't just find some person for them to kill.
Why did you need a sacrifice?
The initiation. My mother is going to become one of those things. I can't be a part of that. Gods, I can't run away from this. I have to stop her. I'm going up there to stop her. This cycle must end. I don't know what brought you here, but I could use your help if you're willing.
I'll help you.
Good. Follow me. We have to fight our way up. I don't think anyone else here is about to have a change of heart.
Well. That's a bit fucking grim, isn't it? Strong walls and towers. Defensible.
What was that? Knew it!
look after a fight. All wild and so fucking alive. Gods, I need to kiss you. Right the fuck now. You hear that?
Hagraven up ahead. Pull the lever when you're ready and we'll take her. Hagraven up ahead. Pull the lever when you're ready and we'll take her. Hagraven up ahead. Pull the lever when you're ready and we'll take her. Hagraven up ahead. Pull the lever when you're ready and we'll take her.
I'm ending this right now!
Is someone there? Huh?
Locked. Damn! One of the hags nearby will have the key. Locked. Damn! One of the hags nearby will have the key. You'll have to take it from here. I'll keep watch here. Unless you can pick the lock.
You want to do this the hard way? Fuck. They never learn. It's dark in here. Watch your step.
Locked. Damn! One of the hags nearby will have the key. You'll have to take it from here. I'll keep watch here. Unless you can pick the lock.
Wait, this is bloody madness. We don't know what she's capable of.
All right. Mother is just outside this door. I have a plan.
What's the plan?
I'll present you as the sacrifice. Just play along. While Mother begins the ritual, I'll strike. Then together we can kill her.
Kill her?
I've thought this through, and it's the only way. She's too far gone, too corrupted by the hags. At least in death, she can be free again. Enough. Let's go. Greetings, Mother.
Daughter, who is this you have brought me?
I found a willing subject for you. Payment has already been discussed, of course.
Splendid. Please take a seat on the chair behind me, would you? I'll just prepare the subject now.
I can't let you do this, Mother. You have to die now.
Huh? Someone there?
The fight!
Oh.
Hell yeah!
Don't be sorry for me. If I would have known it would come to this... Mother... Keep Mother's staff. Think of it as payment. I want to leave everything from this cursed place behind. Goodbye. And thank you.
I like the rift better than anywhere in Skyrim. Cool fog. To the broken mountains. It always felt familiar somehow.
Careful, Dragonborn. This is becoming a habit for you.
Kaidan, are you really wearing... is that an amulet of Mara?
You sound surprised, Dragonborn. Did you think you were the only one who might be interested in someone?
No, didn't mean that. Just, didn't think you'd get hit by that arrow.
I can't say I did either. Guess I just realised it'd depend on who was holding the bow.
Oh, does that mean you're wearing it for someone special then?
Aye, it might be. Although I'm starting to think it might not be that apparent to the one in question.
I have a book you might like.
Looks like a good read. Here, fair trade?
Can we trade some things?
Take what you need, darling.
About surviving out here.
Aye.
I'm exhausted.
Aye, we ought to make camp.
Could you set up a campsite?
Alright then. Alright. My love.
Let's talk.
Yes, my love.
You look like you have something on your mind.
Every time we are alone, I want to do things that, well...
What were you going to say? I might just let you...
Well, let's go into the bedroom. I'll make your toes curl, alright?
Sleep wasn't what I was thinking of.
That smile doesn't just make my heart race. It makes my blood fucking burn. Come here. Darling.
Let's talk.
My love.
Do you think about our first time?
But it's one night I know I won't ever forget. Back to it then, aye? What can I do for you?
Let's talk.
Yes, my love?
When did you fall in love with me?
I never knew what I wanted from a woman until I saw you. I'm here if you need me. What do you need, my love?
Come with me, I need your help.
The gods themselves won't take me from your side.
Linnell's note. At Arkwyn Point, the bones of the dead rattle in their stone cages, but the old magic is strong in those mountains, and with the help of the cat, who is a rat, a priest of Namira no less, the crow will set them free. With his help, an army of bones will dance to her call, be they warriors, shadows, or beasts. Yet the cauldron shows the bones of two others, dragons in mortal flesh, who seek to challenge the inside towers of frost and stone. It will be up to the crow to pick both their bones clean. Master Elend's last words. If you're reading this, it means I'm dead. The fate, I'm sure, will bring a smile to your face if you're standing on your head anyway. Otherwise, it will just be a frown, and we can't have that. That would be far too predictable. For who doesn't appreciate a little chaos? Maybe I'll finish this sentence by saying, flying horkerloaf. Hopefully now your frowns are facing the right direction. After all, neither rhyme nor reason has a home here. Fire is water, up is down, right is wrong, death is life. And so, like Dalek Toloreth before me, I speak to you now, dear apprentice, from inside this box. A wise sage might caution you to be careful when you follow my path, lest you end up in the same place. But I have never claimed to be wise. To me, death is yet another adventure, another possibility to explore. The same should be true of your life. Letter from Kaidan, 6 Rain's Hand, 201. Lirya, I wanted to write something meaningful about that night. Maybe something profound, even, that would impress you. Only, every time I try, all I can think about is the way your skin felt, how you shivered when I touched you, and what hearing you say my name did to me. And I get to thinking about how much I'd like to do it all over again. Guess there's a reason I'm not a bloody bard. Turns out I'm absolutely shite at words, but I've heard it said, actions speak louder than words. And I seem to remember you thoroughly enjoying my actions that night. So maybe, if there's a next time, I'll just let my fingers do the talking for me, eh? Kai. Letter from Kaidan, 6 Rain's Hand, 201. Lirya, while I'm sorry about the loss of Kodlak, I want you to know I think you're doing well as Harbinger. Said it before, and I'll say it again. Maybe this time I'll take away some of that doubt in your eyes I keep seeing. Kodlak was a clever man, and it was smart of him to choose you to step into the role. Imagine it might be hard to believe at times, given how some of them viewed you when you first joined. But you can't be paying arseholes like Miata or the like no mind. Instead, believe in yourself like he did. Don't think you see yourself quite as Vilkas, Varkas, and Aela do. They trust his decision, and so should you. And I know you don't see yourself the way I do. I'm no companion, but I would follow you anywhere. Kaidan. Guide to Shadenhall. Shadenhall is a city in the eastern Cyrodiil whose architecture and culture contains heavy Dunmer influence due to its close proximity to Morrowind's border. Located in the foothills between the Valis and Jarrell Mountains, Shadenhall sits in the northeastern edge of the Nibinian Basin, a river valley of tributaries to Lake Brumaire and the Niben River. Arche, bless my body and soul. My name is Alessia Otis, and I'd like to tell you all about Shadenhall. First impression of the visitor to Shadenhall is of broad green parklands, graceful willows along the banks of the Corbolo, neatly groomed gardens and flowering shrubs. Shadenhall looks prosperous, with clean, well-trimmed houses and neat stonework, ornamented with striking designs in glass, metal, and wood. What lurks behind this pleasing appearance? Crime, scandal, corruption. Shadenhall is divided into 3 districts. To the north on a hill is the courtyard and inner keep of Castle Shadenhall. The road runs east-west below the castle from Eastgate to Westgate. The Corbolo River runs roughly north-south from this road, dividing southern Shadenhall into 2 districts, Chapel in the east and Market in the west. In Market District lie all the shops, inns, and guild halls. In Chapel District are the chapel itself and Shadenhall's residences. Bridges span the Corbolo in the north and south, with the south bridges connecting upon a pretty little island park in the middle of the river. Though Shadenhall lies in the Nibinian East, its culture is shaped by the Dark Elf immigrants who emigrated here in the past half-century from Morrowind. Many of these immigrants were fleeing Morrowind's rigid society and heathen temple theocracy. In Cyrodiil, they hoped to find the stimulating commerce atmosphere inspired by Zenithar's patronage. One of these immigrants is now Count Shadenhall. Andal Indaris was of House Halalu in Morrowind, but he came to Shadenhall, searching for greater opportunity. His sudden rise into the highest ranks of Cyrodiilic nobility is hard to explain, and most old families of Cyrodiil might regard him as a presumptuous upstart. However, the discovery of the Count's wife, Lady Lathasa Indaris, badly battered and dead at the foot of the county hall stairs immediately attracted scandal, and rumors of the Count's dissipation, rages, and infidelities, which suggests a darker mystery behind her death. The Chapel of Arkay in Shadenhall is poorly attended. The Count sets a poor example. He never sets foot inside the chapel, but perhaps it is from fear of divine judgment that he avoids placing himself under the eyes of the Nine. Shadenhall's primate, priest, and healer are good people and staunch professors of the faith, but the most honored and respected of the chapel's clerics is Arundel, the living saint of Arkay, a tireless crusader against the wicked practices of necromantic sorcery in the Mages Guild and the Imperial Battle College. Both at Shadenhall's inns appear respectable from the outside, but the Newlands Inn is owned by a wicked, profane, dark elf ruffian, and the Shadenhall Bridge Inn is owned by a dignified, devout Imperial matron, so I am sure you know which place will serve you good, reasonable food, and which will provide you with a safe, clean bed where you are unlikely to be murdered for your purse. The owner-proprietor of Shadenhall's bookstore is Machna, an Argonian, and a ruder, more disagreeable creature I have never met. Nonetheless, his selection of books is excellent, and his price is reasonable. The poorest of Shadenhall's residences are bright and clean with well-groomed grounds, and the citizens think it no inconvenience when you step in to admire their furniture and appointments, provided you do this at a decent hour. However, be warned, many of these residents seem respectable to all appearances, but no sooner do they open their mouths than they reveal themselves to be evil brutes, shocking and rude, more likely to murder you and bury you in their basements as to speak a civil word to you. That many of these rough, unpleasant people are orcs should be no surprise to you. However, you will not wish to miss the house of Shadenhall's most notable citizen, the celebrated painter, Rive Lathandis. He is often hard at work in his studio, not to be disturbed, but his wife is gracious and hospitable, and may be persuaded to show you some of his paintings which hang on his own walls. Follow the Nine to glory. Marion's Journal. 4th of Sun's Dawn. We've gotten passage aboard the Silver Swift bound for Skyrim. People say that the Sea of Ghosts is haunted, but I think that's a bunch of Nord superstition. Skies have been fair, and I hope the rest of the journey is uneventful. 7th of Sun's Dawn. A few days have passed without much event. The crew is largely accommodating and polite, aside for the one dark elf, Borlin, who keeps making passes at me. One of the other crewmen has told me he's harmless, but he'll keep a watch on him nonetheless, which I appreciate. 8th of Sun's Dawn. Last night people were up and about, and I could hear the bell on deck ringing and calling sailors to their stations. The seas were unusually calm. I went up on deck to see what the commotion was all about, and I walked by what I swore was a Colovian woman in a wedding gown, glowing in the moonlight. I rubbed my eyes and looked a second time and saw nothing. Must still be half asleep. 9th of Sun's Dawn. I've awoken to the sounds of echoing screams. By Azure, did someone fall aboard? I rushed out of bed and saw out on the foggy banks of the still sea the shapes of ghostly figures. The ship captain ordered the helmsman to bring the ship about and take a longer route around the fog bank and ghostly visages, but it's too late. Suddenly and out of nowhere, a massive wave hit the ship and everyone's ordered back to their cabins. One of the sailors came up and told me to take refuge in the main cabin, as it's now too rough to make it across to the hold of the ship. He closed the door, and I sat myself in the corner by a chest and shelf, where I hope to wait this out. I do hope it is over soon, and we land safely where I can once again take my strolls upon the shores of the beach, and comb for treasures, and view the sights with my trusty spyglass.
Catalog of Enchantments for Weaponry by Yvonne Bien, Synod Researcher. An incomplete list of all the spells and weapons used in enchanting. Within this catalog are all the known varieties of weapon enchantments that modern mages can cast. No pretense is made that this list is complete.
New discoveries are made, and new enchantments are revealed often enough that this work will eventually become outdated. Those who follow may choose to revise this work as needed. Weapons, such as axes and bows, can hold a wide variety of enchantments. The most common are fire, frost, and lightning. The simple, yet effective enchantments burn, freeze, or shock when they draw blood. Only slightly less common are weapon enchantments that drain magicka or stamina. These drain off a wizard's reserves of power, tiring him magically just as the weapons that strain stamina tire their victims physically. Unlike the elemental enchantments, these enchantments alone cannot kill, although the weapon itself can still take a life. Equally less common are the enchantments of fear. There are two varieties, one for the living and one for the undead. The former will only affect living creatures, not undead, or magical constructs such as atronachs and dwarven automatons. The latter cause draugr, skeletons, vampires, and the like to flee. There is no known fear enchantment that will affect dwarven machines. A particularly insidious, but somewhat common enchantment is Soul Trap. Upon entering the blood, the victim's soul is bound. Should he die shortly thereafter, his soul is siphoned off to a nearby soul gem. This form of magic should only be used against beasts and monsters. To use it against men or elves is abhorrent. Noticeably more rare are the absorb enchantments. There are three known types that drain the victim's health, magicka, or stamina. The weapon becomes a conduit, transferring the stolen energy from the victim to the wielder. These are sometimes referred to as vampiric enchantments. As discussed above, absorbing magicka and stamina is not in itself deadly. Absorbing health can actually steal the life from a creature. The rarest of enchantments are those of banishment and paralyzation. Banishment only affects summoned atronachs or undead raised by wizards. The banishment breaks the link between the caster and the creature. Summoned atronachs return to the oblivion plane from whence they came. Raised undead are released. It is important to note that self-willed undead are not affected by banishment. Paralyzation is simple yet deadly. The affected creature becomes rigid and unable to move for a short time. This is one of the most prized enchantments among warriors. A paralyzed opponent can be dispatched with ease. It is important to note that many creatures are immune to paralysis, such as atronachs, skeletons, ice wraiths, and dwarven automatons.
Dwarves, The Lost Race of Tamriel, Volume 1, Architecture and Designs, by Calselma, Scholar of Markarth. A scholarly work on the architecture and metallurgy of Dwemer. Let me begin by correcting a common misconception. The proper term to use when referencing the ancient lost race of Tamriel is Dwemer. It is a word whose meaning is roughly translated to people of the deep in the common tongue, and whose use has been widely replaced by the more ubiquitous nomenclature, dwarves. I would like it stated that I use the name dwarves in lieu of the more accurate term in these books out of sympathy for my readership, whom I can safely assume does not have the breadth of scholarship that 200 years of study has given me. With that small point finished, let us begin our discussion on the dwarves by focusing on the indisputable artifacts they have left behind, their architectural and cultural designs. Unlike the more controversial areas of dwarven scholarship, the construction of dwarven cities and relics are well founded due to the plethora of examples taken from the ruins these people have left behind. My own home city, Markarth, was originally one such ruin, and I can state from first-hand experience that all dwarven designs share a set of common principles that we can use to determine true artifacts from fakes and delineate patterns and methodologies that were important to their craftsmen. First of all, we can say for certain that dwarven artisans favored stone, at least as far as their buildings were concerned. This is no surprise. With notable exceptions, the vast majority of dwarven architecture is found underground or carved out of mountains. It is possible, although only theoretically, that the dwarves first mastered masonry as a race quite early, and later examples of metalwork were added on to much earlier stone designs as the dwarves began to master more complex tools. Regardless, the foundation of all known dwarven ruins is built on stonework, and the structure of dwarven stonework is sharp, angular, and intensely mathematical in nature. By a simple count, there are hundreds if not thousands of samples of dwarven buildings made of precise square shapes, and far fewer examples of discretely rounded or curved stonework, leading us to believe that early dwarves favored trusted, well-calculated designs based on angled lines rather than riskier, more imprecise calculations based on arcs and curves. This comparatively simple tradition of stone cutting has nevertheless resulted in buildings that are as structurally sound today as they were thousands of years ago.
making the works of our most skilled masons today seem like child's play in comparison. Metalwork, as far as we know, is the primary method used to make almost all dwarven crafts. We cannot, however, discount more easily destructible materials such as clay, paper, and glass from outside the scope of dwarven craftsmanship. Given the tendency of dwarven design to favor the long-lasting over the fragile, we can safely assume that at the very least, metal was a heavy preference. And the metal used in all so far discovered dwarven relics is entirely unique to their culture. No other race has replicated whatever process was used to create dwarven metal. Although it can be easily mistaken for bronze, and in fact, many forgers of dwarven materials use bronze to create their fake replicas, it is most definitely a distinct type of metal of its own. I have personally seen metallurgists attempt to combine several different types of steel and common and rare ores in order to imitate dwarven metal's exclusive properties. But the only method that has been successful is to melt down existing dwarven metallic scraps and start over from there.